Water.
Earth.
Fire.
Air.
For the longest time, the four nations have lived together in harmony. Under the wise leadership of Avatar Roku, the world has experienced an era of peace and prosperity unlike any other. But with the recent death of Avatar Roku after his volcanic island erupted, members of all four nations feel the winds and tides of change. With the search for the new Avatar only just beginning, the world seems poised on the brink of conflict. But without the Avatar, who will save the world?
Hi, I'm Andrew. I play Mako, a firebender from the Fire Nation.
Hi, I'm Archie. I play Aquila, a bloodbender from the Northern Water Tribe.
G'day, I'm Brandon. I play Rung-Bolo, an earthbender from the Earth Nation.
Hi, my name is Bree and I play Shurva, a weapon specialist from the Fire Nation.
Hi, I'm Dave, and I play Al, an airbender from the Northern Air Temple.
And I'm Owen, the dungeon master of this ragtag group of members of all four nations. Hello!
Hey,
Hi.
Hello.
Okay, a little bit more energy from you, Dave, thanks. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Lost Archives. Avatar Legends has returned. We are back. Oh my goodness. And one of us with some extra jewelry on his finger.
Andrew?
I was
Not
obviously
me.
referring to you, Archie, having...
Oh, me, yeah, I got married.
He got married!
That's cool.
Congrats!
Lame.
What's
That
the
was
ring?
a
What's the ring made of?
ring as well.
Hey?
Yeah. What's the ring made of?
How
Tell us
tiny
about
goes
the ring.
zircon ring?
It's made out of this thing called metal.
Do you,
What's
do you have anything
looks
more
black
for
though,
us?
is it-
Or...
I guess I walk
Zircon?
into that.
I think it's like zircon or something. Yeah.
It is zircon.
Zircon,
Cold
nice.
it.
Yeah.
Very nice. You can't put your hand in a microwave
choice.
now, just so you know.
What?
What?
Zirconium.
Can't really cut it off.
Good
It's really
job.
tough.
Well done, Archie. Congratulations.
Thanks.
Congratulations to you, commiserations to your lovely wife.
I don't know what that word means, so thank you.
That's fitting.
We're all very, very happy for you, Mr. AquaticArchie.
I feel like my name didn't change.
No, it didn't.
Oh, this sucks. I get a refund.
Yeah, that'll be easy.
Yeah,
enough to
you're
do.
not getting that refund, mate. Go on.
You can change your name if you want to. You know that,
Yeah.
right?
Wait.
You can just take your marriage certificate in to like Services New South Wales or whatever you people use down there.
Victoria.
RTA,
but yeah.
whatever. And just literally say, I'm taking my wife's name, and they'll change your name.
Oh, but what if I want just a different name?
You can do that too.
You can
can
do
also
that
do that.
too.
Legally changed, yeah.
I think for that you might have to pay for
You
an
have to pay,
application.
yes.
If you're
I
not
could-
hyphenating it, if you're not just hyphenating it, you have to pay. It's like $190. Takes like 3 months of assessment or whatever
I
to
could
make sure that it's
legally
not
be
weird.
AquaticArchie.
You could
Yeah.
legally
Yeah,
be first
yeah,
name
it
Aquatic,
wouldn't matter,
last
yeah.
name Archie.
Remember, I legally changed
For
my
one
name, my
fee.
first name.
Wait,
I don't know
what
if
was
I
it
told you people
before?
that.
Wait, did you?
Wait, what?
Oh, wait, yeah. Yes.
My name legally was Brianna, and I changed it to Bree.
Oh.
Not a drastic change,
Ah.
but
Or a necessary one, I would have thought.
It's like 50%.
it was
of the
definitely
name.
necessary.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah, there you go. I did not know that. I would have assumed that you wouldn't need to because you could just shorten it professionally. But no. There must have been a good reason. There you go. I've learned something new tonight, everybody.
Yeah,
I've
so it costs
learnt that,
$190 roughly.
That's
Oh,
alright.
that's nothing.
That's really nothing.
Yeah,
That's like a day's
250
work.
if you want to expedite it and get it done within a couple of weeks.
That's a day's work. I could do that.
It's not bad.
Man, you could have Games Pass for like 2 years with that much.
Oh, Dave. So,
You can change your name
And the
to whatever
rest.
you want in
And the
Games
rest.
so obviously, we've all been having quite a bit of fun playing Baldur's Gate 3. I hear someone may have actually finished the game. Raise your hand if you have finished the game.
You found a gate?
It's just Brandon.
You found the
Yeah.
game.
I found the
But my
game.
name wasn't Boulders.
It was
How-
so good.
How'd you go? Without spoiling too much, you tried to do a bit of a good
Yeah,
playthrough, didn't you?
Did a good playthrough, so got everyone up to like level 12 and everything. Karlak was Bae, she was my barbarian. Then
Yep.
I had my dude, he was a necromancer, wizard. Ali was a wizard, not a wizard, a druid.
Yep.
And then her Bae is always a Starian, so always had a Starian in the party, just as like a little
Okay.
assassin rogue. So did big damages. I got Karlak to deal like 90 to 100 damage to one boss later in the game. Was incredible.
That's impressive.
If you have the right things, make
Yeah.
them giant, have like 28 strength.
Yeah.
Mm.
The a certain sword that
good.
matches the name of the game, I'm guessing. Is that what you're referring to? A
Yes.
certain great sword? Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, it's big things really well.
Yeah. That
The
was
gate
yeah.
sword.
that's it. The gate sword. You nailed
So
it.
topple the big folk.
Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah.
It's not
Oh
a
my
great
goodness.
sword, it's a gate sword.
A gate sword.
It's a great sword.
I know. There's obviously a fair bit of excitement for Starfield, which is coming out very, very shortly. I did see. I'm a bit of a Bethesda sucker. I really enjoyed Skyrim. I also really enjoyed Fallout 4. Fallout 76, take it or leave it. But Fallout 4 I quite enjoyed modded. I have seen some early reviews of Starfield saying that it's the least buggy Bethesda game that's ever been released, which probably means it's twice as buggy as a normal game, because most Bethesda games are about 6 times more buggy than any other game. So that'll be exciting to encounter some incredibly game-breaking bugs. I'm excited for that. I am also excited for the live-action One Piece that's coming out soon as well.
On Thursday.
I saw another trailer for it, and I've
literally been watching the trailers like all day today.
I'm
think it
actually
looks so cool.
upgrading to cautiously optimistic. I'm feeling like it's going to be pretty good. I don't want to like get too hyped, but I have to say, like, the more I see of the main actor, I think Inaki is his name. The more I see of him, the more I think like they've nailed the casting, and so I think it'll be pretty good. So I'm excited for that. We did discuss the possibility of doing a watch party and a reaction to it. It won't be when it's first live on Thursday because I am busy Thursday night, but I'm gonna message these guys and see if they're free either on maybe like a Saturday evening at some point, see if anyone's free around then, and we can maybe do a little watch party for it, because I think that would be kind of fun. Just to sort of see the first episode. I'm excited for that. I am also mega hyped for Wheel of Time, which is coming back soon as well. Being a massive Wheel of Time fan of the books and a massive Brandon Sanderson fan, I cannot wait for the season 2 of Wheel of Time. So I'm also very hyped for that. That's my big nerd hypes. Anyone else got any nerd hypes at the moment that they're frothing on? I know Archie's keen for One Piece as well. If you had to sum up your excitement level, what would you put it? I'm cautiously optimistic. Where would you put it?
I'm very excited. Like I think I'm a little bit more excited than you, just because you're still a bit cautious. But I am. I at the moment I'm still currently in my. I'm watching One Piece every episode going through.
Oh my god!
Where are you up to? Where are you up to?
For the 5th time, I'm like nearly at 200.
Which arc is that?
800 to go.
The life cycle of watching the One Piece anime,
Yes.
which is normally by about episode 2 to 250, you're burned out because of how long everything fucking takes.
Yeah, and I'm like, it gets to the point where I'm like, all right, I need a break. I'll get back to it soon. And then cut to 6 months
2 years
later.
Yeah.
Fuck, what's happened? I don't remember anything. I'll start again.
I may as well start again. Yeah. I get you.
But I've watched like bits and pieces of like the rest as well. Like I know what's going on at the moment and everything. But like obviously I'm still in that. I think I might be at like 130 or something at the moment. So I'm still sort of like in that. I love this. This is great. I'm enjoying my life. So I think once the live action comes out,
you'll just
hopefully
ignore
I'll still be okay.
once again for a year, and then
yeah.
Perfect.
But I'm hoping that I can at least convince my partner to also watch it, because it's not anime, so I can use that at my advantage.
Yeah, I've convinced my partner to give it a go, because when she was younger, she would watch it with her brothers on Cheese TV on a weekday morning.
Toaster TV.
Yeah, exactly. She quite enjoyed the anime One Piece.
Cheese TV was better.
Cheese TV was better. So I am also very excited for her to watch it as well, because I mean we watch a lot of movies and TV shows together, but this will probably be one of the more like anime style things I've been able to get her to. I'm trying to build her up to Studio Ghibli, but it's been a long, hard road.
But Studio Ghibli is
Wait,
like
that's
I
a
love
that's
Studio
a
Ghibli.
that's a-
entry. That's the entry.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I know. That's the uphill battle I'm facing.
yeah.
Does your partner like action and all that sort of stuff? Like,
Doesn't mind
like
it.
heavy action movies?
Oh, yeah,
or-
Alice doesn't
I was
mind
gonna
that
say
sort of stuff.
Record. I can recommend Record of Ragnarok on Netflix. It's so
Okay.
good.
Yeah,
It's
she
God's
loves Avatar.
versus
She loves Avatar the Last
mortals.
Airbender. So
Gladiatorial combat.
I would argue that these days Avatar is quite entry level. Like
I would
compared
agree.
to, I
Yeah.
would say Studio Ghibli is probably much more.
I'd say it's entry to
It's-
mid-tier tops.
Yeah,
at the
it's
very
much more
most.
difficult to like
Yeah.
get people in as an entry because you need to know a bit more about Japanese culture and the mythologies that they're describing in those movies to
don't know if you
really
need
get
to
like
know
an
it.
appreciation.
I don't
Like
think
to
you need
really
to.
enjoy them and know what's going on. Sometimes, like I remember when I first watched like Howl's Moving Castle, I missed
Yeah.
so much that now that I know more about Japanese culture and stuff, it all makes a lot more sense.
I have to say,
It's
actually,
true.
Howl's Moving Castle is one of the rare exceptions where the adaptation of that anime as a movie is better than the book. And I know I'm probably going to get some ire for that, but it is one of those rare times where
Over,
actually,
man.
if anyone's read the book, I actually would recommend just watching Howl's Moving Castle, the Studio Ghibli version. It's better.
It's
You're
one of my
raising your
favorite
hands.
movies.
Archie,
Grave of
what's
the
going on?
Fireflies wasn't Studio Ghibli, was it?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, it was.
It was, yeah.
I can't read, so I've only ever watched the movie.
Thank you for that input. Fantastic. That would have been interesting, reading out your vows then, if you're illiterate. How did that go?
The Sullivan
you had an
read it to
earpiece
us.
on.
Yeah.
He got
Andrew was there. I think it went
ChatGPT to
alright.
like read it out to him.
It was good. It was fine.
It was
You went
fine.
well.
See,
Oh man, I love the idea of like the robot voice being Leslie. I've always loved you, like in your ear to try and like give you the cues to say it out loud. That'd be amazing. But that's what it was.
no, I did it by myself,
I thought you
but
could read.
they were all little words, so it's okay.
Ah, true. Okay.
3-letter word vows.
The longest word was word, so it's all G.
Nah, love. 4 letters. It's hard.
That's true.
He spelled the LUV though, so it was just 3.
Oh, nice. Yeah, yeah. Look, it was 90% emojis. It was a pictographic vow.
90.
Oh my goodness. Well, now that we've bullied Archie enough, let's jump into the session because it is the second half of our Ember Island Players session. So I'll do a quick recap and then I will revise everybody on where we're up to with the Ember Island Players. Does everyone remember which characters they were playing from last session?
Andrew.
Don't worry if you don't. I've got it all written down.
I'm
as
Al.
characters.
I'm Andrew.
Sal, I think you'll fine.
Sal.
Oh my goodness. All right, let's do a recap so we can get into
Make it
this.
point the right way.
Our story has been following Shurva and Mako of the Fire Nation, Rung of the Earth Kingdom, Aquila of the Water Tribe, and Aal of the Air Nomads. With the recent death of Avatar Roku following the eruption of his volcanic island home, omens of war and conflict seem numerous. The team are currently on the trail of the 4 elemental spirits in an attempt to calm their rage and undo the damage done by a careless wish made of the whale spirit of the Siwong Desert. 3 spirits have now been appeased, and the group are now in the Earth Kingdom city of Omashu, taking a little bit of a break from their journey, which so far hasn't been an easy one. Taking them south to Kyoshi, north through the Banyan Swamp, and after defeating and facing off against the Guiding Wind, a group of renegade airbenders responsible for the kidnapping of several people, the group were ready for a bit of a break. And such a distraction was offered to them. It turns out the Ember Island Players were performing in this city of Omashu, a special play all about the party, or at least the stories that Shurva and Mako had shared with the Ember Island Players way back when they were outside the walls of Ba Sing Se. So far, the interpretation of events as the party see them by the Ember Island Players has been somewhat bizarre. They have watched the characterizations and caricatures of themselves stumble through blindly, being saved by the Dai Li, worshipping General Zhao, heading up north, generally getting into lots of shenanigans and problems, mostly as a result of their own careless decisions, and the corruption that exists within the Earth Kingdom itself. We left off during the intermission, halfway through the play. The play itself having just reached the stage where the party arrived at the Water Tribe and met with Killer, a bloodbender who is obsessed with puppets. And that is where we left off with the play last session. Each of you, for the purposes of the stage performance, are playing each other's characters so that I'm not monologuing for 2 full sessions straight, because that's not exciting or interesting for anyone. Plus, I don't think my voice could last that long. So, we had each of you playing each other's characters. We had Andrew playing Killer, Bree playing Sal, Dave playing Rock, and Archie playing Mako, Brandon playing Shurva. The only 2 characters to mostly escape undamaged in terms of their general perception in the eyes of the public, being Mako and Shurva. So, as you head out and start enjoying a little bit of the intermission, as you head out through the main doors leading into this large performance tent, you can see that night has definitely fallen while you have been inside. The sun has set, the moon, at this point, very close to being full, as the moon continues to grow in size night after night, probably about 3/4 full at this stage, shining through the clouds high above. The cool, crisp night air has a little bit of a chill to it, the tail end of winter still sort of hanging around. You can see that many of the performers have set up these massive braziers around the tent. Braziers around the tent. Just make sure it doesn't say braziers. Braziers around the tent that are roaring with a nice warm fire. Many of the audience members are gathering around them. Standing with you, having watched the performance and thoroughly enjoying himself so far, is Mazon, the young Earth Nation kid who you've kind of been hanging out with, who you now know has a younger brother called Boomy back home.
What did you call him?
Mazon. No, Mazon was the Fire Nation
Yeah,
sage. Sorry.
yeah.
Yeah,
Sorry. I'm having
Calzone.
Calzo, sorry.
Calzone.
I was like, that.
Calzone.
Calzone.
That's right. I remember why I blacked his name out of my mind now. Calzo. As you head outside, you can see a number of vendors moving around with trays of what looks to be a mixture of hot and cold treats, as well as what can only be described as little cups of hot tea that they're walking around serving to people as they mill around outside the audience members. Mazon, as he stands next to you guys,
Nope.
looks around, looks up and goes,
Did it again.
"Wow, you guys are..." Sorry, Mazon. Sorry. I'm going to do that all night, apparently. Calzo looks like this. "Wow, you guys have done some weird shit."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, we have, Calzo.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Can
We
I?
went down to this in the tunnels. We're still doing weird shit.
We're still doing weird stuff. Now you're
Yeah,
part of
but-
the story.
You looked like you were a bit more competent, like down in the tunnels. This, I have to say, this isn't painting the most flattering light.
No.
Like-
No.
It's got me pegged great, honestly. Like,
You're getting pegged in this.
Yeah, what's with the whip? Like, he looks at your belt, Shurva, and your whip is wrapped up there. It's a normal size, normal
It's a
length
really
whip.
long whip.
It's a normal length whip. What's with the whip? Why are they doing this whole coiled rope gig? Is that am I missing something?
I'm pretty sure that's because Mako is obsessed with the idea that my whip is abnormally long because he knows absolutely nothing about weapons whatsoever.
That's a lie.
He's
What
just like,
sizes?
oh my god, that's so long, but it's really not. And I guess they just
It's a
took that
really
and ran
long
with it.
Right, okay. It looks like they've taken a few things and run with them. Like, have you noticed that almost none of your names are right?
Yeah.
Mine's fine.
Have you noticed that they think us Earth Nation people eat rocks?
Yeah, they think we're so
I've noticed
dumb.
that.
Wait.
As literally
Yeah,
as a
I've
vendor
seen you
walks
eat a
past
rock.
going, "Fresh
Yeah.
Geminite, get your fresh Geminite here," and he's literally got a tray of rock candy that he's
Ron, I
selling.
think the portrayal of you is actually pretty spot on. They've got the name wrong, but the rest is pretty good.
I'm chewing like a bucket of Gemini right now. Like, you don't know what you're talking about.
I think we eat rocks, guys. Nom nom. You actually eat rocks. Well, maybe that part's not so far off.
They did a pretty good job with him.
They got wrong. They got wrong.
And why do they
briefly.
think you're called Sal? I mean, your name's Al, isn't it?
Well, yeah, it's Al, but there was a silent S in the front, but then we got rid of it because
Post
it
time
became
skip. Don't worry
very
about it.
confusing. Yeah. It was very hipster, but it just didn't fit.
Yeah, he paid
Okay.
to have his name changed.
How much did it cost?
195 gold.
I don't know. I paid 190 cabbages for it.
Oh wow, that's you probably got ripped off then. That's a lot of cabbages. I reckon I'd at least spend like 20 tops.
Well,
20
how much is a cabbage worth in gold?
What do you mean? How much is a cabbage worth in gold? You could buy like a whole cartload of cabbages for a gold.
Well, I mean, it was official papers, so I don't know.
Wait. Who signed these?
Yeah, how many people? How many of you guys have like
Right
official
now.
papers with your name on it? I don't have any official papers saying what my name is. My
Yeah,
parents
neither
just
do
said
I.
what my name is,
Wait,
and then they used it
this
so
is
much everyone
worthless?
else started using it.
Yeah, that's worthless.
I'll rip off his
People still
official
get it
name
wrong.
paper.
You what? Sorry, you?
I'm sure someone's got.
I'll rip up his official name paper.
Sure, that's canon
See,
now.
Some people have official name papers so that other people don't get their names wrong all the time. Amazon.
Thank you for that.
Wait, some people have them? Oh, no, I just looked mine up.
I would imagine that the Fire Nation would probably
Yeah, they probably would because they would
Like-
have a.
they would
I
have
imagine
a
they'd take
much
note.
more paper-based
Yeah.
like
Recruitment,
system.
yeah.
Because they want
I'd
to know
say that
everyone's
the-
names and they probably do like a census and that kind of thing to know like
Yeah.
army recruitment numbers for the year or
I'm
whatever.
also thinking for tax purposes. I get the sense that the
Yeah.
Fire Nation are pretty good at collecting tax. So yeah, probably there would be a centralized record of most people's names. The Air Nation probably less so. Maybe
They've
as you
got so many
come in-
nomads, it's too hard to keep track of.
Yeah,
There's
I was
probably
thinking
a
maybe.
registry somewhere, like a
I had the
registry.
baby
Yeah,
Oh,
I'm
right.
thinking a registry.
Yeah.
Like so, yeah,
That's right,
exactly.
because
So
the
births.
babies.
Yeah, so they keep a record of births and then a record of those who finished their airbending training. And then probably that's the main record. But like they wouldn't know where people are or if they decide to change their name unless someone like voluntarily comes and goes, hey, I'm calling myself Al from now on. I'm not going to go by Sal anymore.
Well, it was always pronounced Al, so like the S was silent. So we just got rid of the silent S in the front.
I don't know if this is Dave
People
or
kept
Al
saying
talking
Better
right
Call
now.
Saul. It got weird.
Better Call Saul, that's right. Yeah.
I think canonically it was Sal for a single episode.
Yep.
It was actually always pronounced Al, but then I kept misreading my own name.
It was a stigma then. Now he's an alpha. That's why he dropped the S. As
Yeah.
Sal, he was a stigma, but as Al, he's an alpha.
Yeah,
Oh my
yeah.
god.
Al actually died in the first episode. I'm Sal's twin brother Al.
I do have a question though. What happened with Oki's sister? Like, it seemed
Who?
to indicate that like Killer like chopped her arm and leg off.
Yeah, Killer, what happened with Aquila, what happened with Oki's sister?
Oh, so long ago.
Yeah, it was like a
All
week.
alleged.
And did
It
you
doesn't
really
matter.
align
Weeks,
yourself
maybe?
with like
We're
a
in intermission.
dark
It
octopus
doesn't really
spirit?
haunt. It doesn't really haunt my dreams every night, so I don't really know.
It's
Oh.
all alleged, by the way.
There's no proof, so
What's
I mean,
the
you
story?
admitted
With,
doing it.
what's the story with you and that dark spirit, Aquila? Like, what's going on there? Wow, did you really
Aquila.
want Marco's blood? That's super weird.
I didn't want his blood, so it's okay.
Well, that really clears it up.
Well,
Thanks.
You wanted it for someone
As
else.
Calzo just like nods. Oh, yeah, that clears it up. Great.
It was forever
You
in the
gotta
past,
tackle
like
all of
2
this.
weeks ago. Forgot about those things now.
That was look, you know,
A week and a half.
The past is so long
Week and a
ago.
So
No.
Well times.
You know,
Yeah.
like I think we just got to probably move forward from the past and the. Hey, I think they're starting again.
As you look back, you can see a number of audience members beginning to head back into the tent for the second half.
I don't
of
think we
the
need to
play.
go back in, guys. Just full heads up. Let's just go get an early night, call it here.
I was back in the seat.
Okay, cool.
No, I really want to see the rest of the play.
I think I'm with Mako.
At what point did we actually speak to the Ember Island players? Was it after?
Before,
It was before we went
Before
to
North-
the water
North
tribe,
One
wasn't it?
Entry.
yeah, so all of this information
All this is-
they've gotten from somewhere else.
They've got spies.
Okay.
Oh,
'Cause
yeah,
I
what's
was
this
thinking
supply
about
there?
that
Yeah.
after last session. I was like, I'm sure
Oh
we
yeah,
did not.
they have
We went that far in.
they have stuff of us on Chin Island.
What do you mean? What happened on Chin Island?
Nothing happened
Oh,
on
that's
Chin
right,
Island.
because they knew about that.
Oh no!
Guys,
This
hold
is-
up. They think we're the good guys. They think we're good guys.
It's very
Gotta go to
rare.
prison.
It's very rare in an RPG, tabletop RPG, where the game master gets to, in a single episode or in 2 episodes, throw all of the questionable decisions the party's ever made back at them in a single continuous narrative and get them to sort of like have a good hard long look at themselves. This is why I like having the Ember Island players in Avatar. For anyone who's running an Avatar Legends campaign, you need to include the Ember Island players. I reckon right after like the 3/4 point of the campaign, right when it came up in the actual episodes of Avatar the Last Airbender, because it really gives you an opportunity to go, the fuck, guys? And you don't often get that opportunity in one big succinct episode. So without any further ado, as you head back in to the large main tent, take your seats again right at the very front row. All around you, the audience are murmuring excitedly to themselves. The lights are still on the main stage, no longer dressed up and ready, just a curtain covering it. When the lights inside the theatre begin to dim once more, and a drum boom, 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 begins to ring out. As the lights dim, you see shadows moving across the stage, and then all of a sudden, with a loud cymbal crash, the theatre lights come on once again. As the curtain is rising up, you see what looks to be a painting on the back wall of the great city of Ba Sing Se. A palace, or at least a set designed to look like a palace, has been assembled on the main stage. And standing there is the character Pung, pacing backwards and forwards. On a large throne behind him is someone who clearly has been dressed up to look like the Earth Queen. Face painted, wearing long, flowing green robes, with a large dual badgermole carved metal seat behind her. As she taps her fingers impatiently on the throne's armrests, you see Pung pacing backwards and forwards, growing more and more anxious and upset.
This is unacceptable. I demand to know, where are my Dai Li? Auntie, where are my Dai Li?
As he suddenly turns and looks towards the Earth Queen. She looks down through brows and goes,
Oh, I don't know where your Dai Li are, Pung.
You're raising your hand, Bree. Hello.
Is Pung played by a female?
Yes. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. Clearly a woman is playing Pung. Quite an attractive one too, but they've done their best to make her look her naturally quite beautiful features have been made up to make her look much more angular, much more gaunt. You can see that they've actually filled in with a darker makeup on her cheeks to kind of give her cheeks a little bit of a sunken appearance. They've lightened her skin a bit to make it look a bit pale and pallid. And you can see that the clothes she's wearing are deliberately a bit big to make her look kind of small and scrawny inside the costume. Very, very deliberately painting this figure as pathetic. It's very well done. The effects.
It's just how we
Chef's
know
kiss.
her.
Yeah,
Him.
chef's kiss.
Oh, I don't know where your Dai Li are. I put you in charge of the Dai Li, Pung. You're supposed to keep track of them. Now tell me, when are we having the third feast? I find myself feeling a little bit rumbly in my tumbly. I'm ready for a little snacky.
As she looks down at Pung, Pung sort of sighs and goes,
I don't know when we're having the feast, Auntie.
With that, suddenly the doors, these fake doors set up at the far end of the stage, burst open, and in stride 6 of the Dai Li dressed in their long flowing robes, the paper mache hands that appear to be made of stone still like very visibly like attached, almost like gloves that they're wearing. Behind them strides a heroic looking figure, dressed in Fire Nation regalia, flowing red cape, billowing out behind him, which you can see two people in the black morph suits are billowing for him behind to make it look like it's moving in the wind as they run behind him, is the character of General Zhao. As he strides up the main stage, he does a simple bow. Earth Queen, and I don't believe we've had the pleasure. I am General Zhao of the Fire Nation. Oh, just a general. I don't know if I can introduce myself to just a general. I've got people for that. Introduce me, people. As Pung begins clicking his fingers, one of the Dai Li steps up, gives a very long, suffering look at the audience, and then turns to General Zhao. This is High Counselor Pung. General. Ah, High Counselor Pung. Very good. I believe you are currently in charge. You have the noble charge of leading this group of valiant warriors, the Dai Li. Valiant warriors. Pretty sure they're all just my personal henchfolk. Isn't that right, Dai Li? As one, the Dai Li give the subtlest of nods. General Zhao sort of looks around a little bit confused. Tell me, why have you not responded to our summons? Your benevolence. As he bows back towards the Earth Queen. Summons? What summons are these? We sent many messengers with scrolls asking for your assistance and offering our own in return, my queen. Oh, paper? Oh, we get so many of those. I just throw them on the pile. And with that, she gestures over towards stage right, and you can see a large pile of scrolls, which a person dressed up as some sort of duck bear, very poorly made duck bear costume, is just lounging across and occasionally rolling around in, moving the piles of paper. General Zhao sort of looks a little bit confused. Well, this attack in your own kingdom, at your the Earth Kingdom's protected estate during these peace summit talks is rather concerning, is it not? Your benevolence. Attacks? Oh, you mean that silly little fracas, the Beifong estate? No, it's not a problem. Bandits will be bandits after all. I care not for things that happen outside the city. But with the Avatar gone and the peace summit a vital opportunity for our nations to work together, surely it is foolishness to not at least have some sort of investigation into how these bandits were able to attack a fortified and protected estate. You throw around words so easily, General. I don't know what you're saying. Will you join us for the feast later? We've been starving the lower city for months to make sure that we have enough for the upper city. With that, the General finally begins to grow a bit annoyed. He flicks his cape back. I see there is no point bandying words with you. I will do what I can to ease the problems of your people. When you have discovered some wisdom, come and find me. He then gives a meaningful look towards the Dai Li before turning and leaving. With that, the curtain falls on the stage. After a few moments and the sound of feet running across the stage really rapidly, the curtain rises once more, and your characters are all back on the stage. This time, the set has been changed to depict the Northern Water Tribe. Yes, Dave?
Can I do a little thing while the
can.
lights dim? Yeah. While the feet are moving in the back, Rock moves out the front for a little quick monologue, and he says,
Okay.
"This is a poem I wrote.
Jesus Christ.
My name is Rock. I never wear a sock. I had a bird, that is a word. It was also a dog, which is not a hog. Its name Chirpy, there was no pet funner, but I never fed it, and it died of hunger."
Oh my god.
I'm really impressed it rhymed coming from
Holy
Rock.
shit. Obviously that gains a theatre inspiration for Dave. Obviously. In fact, I'm going to give you two, not only because that brutally demolished the character of Rung very succinctly, with the,
Yeah, we had to include
Yeah.
Chirpy. So
Did you-
did
you have
You remember
I had
Chirpy more
something.
in this one episode than Rung has the entire campaign.
I had something in mind for Chirpy. I'm still gonna do it, but that was fucking brilliant, Dave. That was awesome, mate. Well done. The second inspiration is because that actually genuinely rhymed as a poem, and you genuinely put some thought into that. Like, not a huge amount because you didn't want it to be too good because it was from Rock, but still, like, it's a pretty good poem.
I
For those of you
rhymed
who-
the word funner with hunger.
I know, it was well done. That was a stretch. Now that you've pointed that out, I'm going to take that second one off you. For anyone who doesn't know exactly what's happening here, what I've done is we're having each of the players play each other's characters for the Ember Island Players version of the story, just because it's too much fun, and they are being rewarded with what I'm calling theatre inspiration or stage inspiration points on how badly they can portray each other's characters. We're getting up to the point where those points can be spent, just so you know. Yes, Archie.
I feel like you mean how well we portray each
How
other.
accurate, yeah.
Yeah.
The plan is to so the points are if you can successfully align yourselves with the Fire Nation's propaganda while also making your character look like an idiot, the character that you're playing for each
Are
other.
you keeping track of how many points we have? Because I do not remember.
I have
I
been,
remember.
yeah.
Okay, good.
I have been. Yeah.
Can I just quickly?
Hello.
Al, did you write that before? Like, how long have you been sitting on that poem?
Oh, I literally wrote it when Owen was describing the previous scene.
Oh, okay.
I was just,
Okay. I
was
thought you had
scribbling
it. I thought you've had it for days.
Oh my god.
He's just been like stewing over it, like, oh, what can I
And then we were like,
find?
"Oh, we're
With hunger.
canceling. We cancelled last week," and he's like,
That is pretty funny. As Rock, I love this idea. Yeah, so as they're getting the stage ready behind, Rock steps through, does this speech, and then just walks into the curtain to get back. And as he walks back, the curtain gets pulled backwards across the stage with him, slowly sliding up his body until it goes over his head and then drops down and moves back towards the front of the stage once again. As the curtains rise, the set has once again changed. The backdrop now showing a frozen Arctic tundra, the Northern Water Tribe. Not as beautiful as you remember it. Clearly some effort's been made to try and show igloos, but it's also been drawn so that it looks like genuinely the Northern Water Tribe is a collection of about 12 igloos, and then one really big square igloo. And then there's like a little bit of a wall heading down to the harbour. It's much smaller than you remember.
About right.
Your characters are gathered around the center of the stage. The night sky now has the aurora shining above it. Painted, obviously, not actually moving, but the lights occasionally move across it to give the illusion of it shifting and changing far above. In the center of the stage, the character of Killer stands in front of this roiling mass of black tentacles. 6 dudes wearing black morph suits holding strips of fabric that they occasionally swing up and down to move in time. While the rest of your characters are going, oh, pointing at this mass of tentacles. We left off the play right as Killer said, "This dark spirit needs your blood, Mako. Would you provide it?" And Mako's like, "No, I don't want to give you my blood."
I think I agreed. I'm be honest.
You did agree, and then the spirit said, "And now I can use this blood to destroy the good and righteous people of this world,
yeah.
starting
He's
with
like,
the most good and
actually,
most
maybe not."
righteous, the Fire Nation." And then Marco's like, "I don't want to give my blood anymore. Daddy said I
changed my
shouldn't."
mind.
And that's where we left off last session. We jump back in as all of your characters are surrounding this very high budget performance, showing a dark spirit rising from the center of the stage as one of the tentacles reaches out and tries to wrap around Marco's waist.
Ah, stop it! Help
I'll
me!
help you.
Help me, Shurva!
Rock goes into a position of earthbending and just grunts. And a couple of pebbles fall out from his butt, and he's like, "I can't. I simply can't."
Guys, calm down. We can just talk to it, right? Like, we're trying to calm everything down to do with like this spirit situation. Let's just talk to it. What did you want?
Is that addressed to the dark spirit or to
Yep.
Killer?
To the dark spirit.
I want Marco's blood. Mwah.
But you don't really want it, do you?
I'm pretty sure I do.
I feel like that's what you think you want, but I feel like that's really not what you want. So what do you really want?
A tentacle shoots out from the main mass, a dude in a morph suit holding a long strip of black fabric, and as it wraps around your head and mouth and then slowly lowers Sal to the floor, the spirit goes, "Silence, foolish bender. You blow hot air through your lips. I care not for your hollow words. Your gusts of wind do not blow me away." Well?
I pull the little tentacle, but I could blow you, and then put it back
Jesus Christ, you say that?
on. Yeah.
Okay, this is a character twist for,
Al has made that many jokes throughout our campaign, and you all let it slide.
Yeah.
Everyone looks at Al, and he's got a pen and paper, and he's taking notes.
This is how you talk to people.
Oh, I'll blow you. That's a good one.
As Mako calls out for help from Shurva, Brandon, around your waist, you feel the rope being unclicked and drop down to the floor as the one of the people in black morph suits quickly unclips your rope, ready to throw it as far as you need for the whip.
I'm like, oh yes, thank you, trusty sentient whip. Time to save Mako. Get here! And I sort of push the massive bodies next to me, like, quick, carry the rope now.
One of the people in a black morph suit picks up the rope and then runs with it, surrounding the massive tentacles and trying to tie them together with the pretend whip. And as it gets not even halfway through, he's done about 6 laps of the tentacles, and you can see that the sections of fabric are sort of getting stuck. No, a very long whip. My one corporeal weakness.
I like to imagine Shurva's kind of holding it like she's doing her Dukin, like the rope's being carried by the stage hand, and she's like, whip.
Real Shurva sitting up in the sands is just it's not that fucking long.
One of the audience members behind you goes, shh, and you look around and you see her daughter is there with a really long whip, like a little toy that's really long, and she's like, yeah, it's really long. Long whip. Don't ruin this for my daughter.
Smack.
Kill is just gonna be like,
Killer, thank you.
kill.
Go, Andrew.
Is just gonna be like, this is not what you promised. You promised you'd make me the best puppeteer ever.
The joke's on you, killer. No puppeteers are the best. They are all the worst.
You promised me fame and fortune.
And you believed me, foolish puppeteer. I love the idea of Aquila actually like a tear sheds in your as Aquila, as you turn on the dark spirits, the golden threads begin to lower from the ceiling again as Oki goes, wait! Killer! We can do spirit bending! I just learnt it!
That's
Together.
a great idea.
I used to only be able to heal, but now I can help!
Thank God for that.
Sorry, Ali.
Yeah, thanks, Oki. We're glad you're here for something now.
Oh man, I'm going to hell. As the golden threads begin to drop down from the ceiling, the character of Oki reaches into her pack and starts pulling out golden glitter, going, "Ha! Spirit bend!" and throwing it over the dark tentacles. Each time the glitter sort of plasters itself on the morph suits, the people quickly pull into the center of the tentacle mass, pulling the fabric in so that it's less obvious and constricting it around itself. In the very center, the large person in a morph suit goes, "No! You have betrayed me, killer. It seems your redemption was paltry as your puppets." And then they all drop through the center of the stage into a hidden trapdoor and disappear into the ground. And then you watch a hand come out and close the trapdoor.
the lights all sort of flash and flicker, and Oki sort of goes, "Ah, we did it! Yay!"
Yay!
Oki,
Yay.
you saved me. Thank you.
That's okay, Mako. Anytime.
You're way better than your sister.
Did you say that? Yay!
We gotta hand it to you. You're great, Oki.
Oh man, you got a hand.
You've
I
really
love the
got a leg
idea.
up on your sister.
Oh man.
Give me a
All
high
right.
five.
Like
I
they
also
say,
love-
2 hands are better than one.
Oh.
We could even high 10.
Good one,
You-
Rock.
You guys are horrible people.
Take that fictional character.
Again, any DMs running Avatar Legends, if you do not include the Ember Island players in your campaign and give the
Missing out.
actual players a chance to play each other's
Is this
characters,
a
you're missing
derail?
out. This is the greatest idea I've ever had in the history of the Lost Archives. Probably ever, I would add. This is the best.
You don't
And
have
it
many
was-
ideas, so
No,
yeah.
that's it. This was the only one. Pretty happy with this. This has turned way more brutal than I thought. As you're all cheering, you watch as a cardboard cutout of a fox with lots of tails drops down from the ceiling and begins like moving around on puppet strings as someone above like pulls it and turns it. A blue light shines upon it to give it this kind of like ghostly, ethereal look. Oki goes, "Oh, the fox spirit of the north! We should tame it so that we can prove ourselves and bring balance to the world. With Avatar Roku gone, I just don't know what we can do."
We could talk to it.
One tame it.
Can I make it into a puppet?
Behind
Sure.
you,
Oh,
behind
it's a
behind
Pokeball.
you. What was that? Sorry, Brandon.
Like Sal pulls out a Pokeball, just like I don't know why I pictured that in my head. Like we should tame it.
That's amazing. As the fox spirit begins bouncing around, Oki like goes to like chase after it, and then like all of you guys sort of run in place. Your characters running in place as the background begins moving again. The painting shifting and changing, showing this dilapidated temple up on top of a large iceberg. And as the fox spirit disappears up into the rafters again, Oki looks and goes, "Oh no, it's gone into the temple. One of us will have to carefully go in and make sure we don't disturb anything inside."
Mako, I choose you, and I push him in.
Nice. Yeah. I love the idea of like you actually push him through part of the painting, which is set up to look like it's the painting, but it's paper mache or like maybe like a rice paper that's been painted, and so Mako just goes head first through the background and disappears into the backstage area before like crawling forwards. Now a person in a fox costume like runs out behind him, sort of moving around, occasionally like throwing little blue streamers up in the air in this white fox costume. "I am the fox spirit of ice and snow. How dare you disturb my slumber?" You're pretty sure it's the same actor who just played Yavu as well.
Yeah.
Nah, it couldn't be.
Nah.
Yeah.
Hey, Fox Spirit.
What is it you
Pretty cool to meet you.
foolish mortals want?
I feel like a better question is, what do you want? Why aren't you happy?
Peace and quiet from foolish questions! And throws a bit of like blue glitter in Sal's face.
Okay, then
Fox
like
Spirit. That's not
just
very ice
go
of
back
you to do.
inside and go back to sleep.
I will then. And the fox spirit goes backstage. Sal,
Got it.
as you sort of begin coughing with the blue glitter that was sort of thrown into your face, some blue streamers begin falling out your wrists, and then two people in morph suits come on and make little clouds and begin moving them around you. Out of
Know about that?
massive
Wait,
cotton wool.
Shit.
They know about this?
Yeah.
Oh,
Guys,
how
how did they know that I pushed Mako?
I'm not
It's-
worried about how they know about any of this. Like they know about
Pushing me, I think that's just a character assumption at this point.
the fact that they knew about Yavu, about the fox spirit, the fact that you got powers from the fox spirit. I think there's a lot more to worry about here than just the fact that you pushed Mako.
question. Why are you a snitch?
Mako, for anyone, he is going to be a snitch.
It'll be
It's going to be the two people who actively told these people huge amounts of information for
I
free.
want to point out, Mako did most of the talking.
Any of you
Yeah,
guys
I-
snitch? Did any of you snitch on us?
I want it on record that I went back and listened to this episode in preparation for the Ember Island
It
Players.
was equal.
It was very equal, Bree. You chimed in with some pretty great ideas, including my personal favorite. Yeah, the Daily weren't that bad. That was one of my highlights. Yes, because they're
I
like,
need to
oh,
go back and rewatch that.
we don't want to position the Daily as evil. We'll position them as kind of like fairly like goodish guys. Is that okay? We're going to change the narrative. And you're like, yeah, the Daily weren't that bad. And I quote.
Ooh.
Look, I've made some bad choices in life. All right.
So it's
One of
all
them's
very
doing
easy
this
to blame
campaign.
Andrew. I know normally it is Andrew's fault, but yeah, there is at least maybe 40% on Shurva's shoulders here. 60% on Mako, but probably
Oh, yeah.
40. I'd say 40% on Shurva for this.
That's still a high percentage.
One of you snitching. Which one
The
is it?
set begins to change back and a new figure hobbles onto stage. This one, the costume stops at the elbow of the right arm and it's just a black morph suit, and then under the knee of the left leg where it's just a black morph suit. So it looks like this person only has one arm and one leg. It looks a lot like Oki as she sort of like hops onto the stage. Oki goes, "Oh, sister! You're okay.
Alright.
Yeah. You're okay, sister. Sister goes, I have been better. But it's all okay. Now that you have appeased the fox spirit and that shark has been killed, all is well. And then dragging onto the stage behind is a cardboard cutout of a shark belly up that she's slowly dragging behind her on a fishing line.
So you would say that all is okay?
Okay.
Oh wow! There's a raucous laughter that goes throughout the audience as they're like, "Woo!" Enjoy that joke quite a lot. Everyone's getting behind that joke.
That's
straight
all
away.
I
Like,
want.
yeah. The kid behind you goes, ha, 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 like right in your ear, Andrew. As the background shifts and changes again, it moves back, literally just scrolling back towards the Northern Water Tribe once again. And as the chief begins to, striding onto stage, well done. Oh no, that wasn't his voice. Well done. You have done a great job to appease that fox spirit, tricksy little fox spirit. And now that you have also dealt with the dark spirit to the north, we have no more need of sages. Sages are all fired. As he holds his hands up in celebration.
Woo! Redundancies!
A whole bunch of extras on the stage go, woo, yeah, clapping along. And Oki goes, yay, I'm expendable again. Can I come with you guys again? I want to go back to the Southern Water Tribe.
Yeah, we
Where
could
you
always
will
use a healer.
hopefully get married.
I'm going to take my girlfriend. And then she leans out and pulls one of the extras onto stage who looks a lot like a Heaney. Heaney goes, hello, I'm her girlfriend. Hi. And then waves. In the background, you see one of the other Earth Nation, one of the other Water Tribe members who looks a lot like Kurok go, oh, I thought I was her boyfriend.
Quick question.
hello.
Is Killer still with us at this
Killer
point?
is still with you at this point.
I can finally follow my dream of puppet making and puppet shows. Everyone will pay so much to come here.
Fantastic, because you are banished from the Northern Water Tribe for
What?
being a puppet master.
But you don't like my puppets?
No,
No one likes
we never
puppets.
did. Or you. And then they point towards the exit of the stage, and you see a cardboard cutout of a bison slowly lower from the ceiling with some air nomads on it who are dressed in the very bright orange robes of the guiding wind. You can see that they've drawn very large, curved, pointed eyebrows on them to make them look a bit evil. It's one of the air nomads goes, well, it just so happens we're heading south. Want to travel with us, the guiding... air nomads from the
Wait,
Northern Air
How did I
Temple.
know this?
Guys, there's air nomads. We should go hang out with them. We can go visit my place.
Can I come with you guys? I'll make puppets for everyone.
As long as you promise not to tell everyone about your puppets.
I don't
Sure.
really like.
I can't
birds.
guarantee it.
Welcome aboard, my sky bison. I call her Bisoni. I am Pius. Lovely to meet you all. Wait a minute. I know you all. I think you should join the our group of Northern Air Nomads.
It's not a bad idea, but we'd like to go visit the temple first.
Are you prepared to sacrifice the lives of evil people to further our spiritual goals?
As long as there's puppets.
I can't
was
see
more
too
an
much
owl.
harm in
No,
that.
I'm chiming in though.
Why not? What was that? Sorry, Bree?
Can't see too much harm in that. It's for the greater good.
The
The
greater
greater
good.
As they all say that at once. Nice.
Whole crowd.
Oh my goodness. As all of you climb onto the cardboard cutout of the Sky Bison, you see 6 people in black morph suits lifted up underneath, straining to lift up this platform as the background begins swirling again, moving and rotating to just show this endless repeating cycle of clouds on a sky background. As your characters all move about the stage, this is one of the opportunities where those of you who have a inspiration may spend it. Now, the way that the inspirations work on the theatre is that if you wanted to do something to help the characterization of your actual characters, now is the time to do it. Each of you has at least one. All of you have one. Dave has 3, and
So
Bree
that's
has 2.
Ah, sick.
So, this is one of the rare opportunities where if you wanted to spend an inspiration to try and recover some semblance of your public perception, I can see Andrew's nodding his head. Andrew, would you like to spend your...
Yes, please.
Great.
All in.
Okay.
You've got one. You've got one. You can't.
Yeah,
For the
all in.
next...
Spend points on afterwards.
What was that, sorry?
What if we don't spend points now? What can we spend them on later?
If you have any left over at the end, I will reward you with a suitably equivalent benefit.
Cheat
But-
blocking.
But I will say, no, that's ridiculous. That's not a suitably equivalent. That is
I have
ridiculously
here I'm on
inequivalent.
5 points
How's
according to
level
my
up?
tally.
You're on 5.
That's what I have on my tally.
That may be
So,
true, actually.
I'm not sure. So, I am not spending any points.
Are you just gonna? Okay, I will let you know now that the theater inspiration points are meant to be spent in the theater. It is better if you spend them in the theater.
Sounds
Can
like
we spend them on
propaganda.
making our perception worse?
What was that? Sorry.
Can we
You want
spend
to
them
make?
our-
Yes, of course. Yeah. 100%. Yes. You
can
want to
always make it
lower.
worse,
You want to lower Al's, you want to lower the public's opinion of Al, is what you're telling me.
I don't know. Someone else
Do
go
it,
first.
take a
Let me
risk.
think.
So Andrew has spent his.
Let
Andrew has spent his. So for the next bit of the conversation, I will play Mako. There is a time limit on this. I will use this as an opportunity to recover Mako for a little bit. If 2 people spend the theater inspiration at the same time and you are playing each other's characters, you will go back to playing your original characters for 5 minutes on the stage.
I will spend a point to cancel Marco's positive points.
That is absolutely allowed. Brilliant. Marco, you no longer have inspiration. Dave, you don't have to...
Murder. There will be bodies.
And they will become puppets.
There was an opportunity for Marco to not look like a fool in this next bit, but never mind. As the guiding wind, I mean normal airbenders take you south. You see the background sort of shifting and showing clouds. Pius puts an arm around Sal, brings him towards the front of the bison, away from the others, while the others are digging into to food. Pius brings Sal forward.
You know, Sal, I see a lot of myself in you. I see a lot of opportunity for you to be a better airbender. The guiding wind, the normal airbenders, have many opportunities that they can offer you now that you are a master. For example, this Bisoni. She could be yours, you know.
Well, I don't have a bison, but can I change its name?
To buy
You can change
Microsoft.
its name to whatever you want. Could I recommend Peach?
You know, I was just thinking peaches. Peaches would be nice. I like fruit.
Yes, I know you do. I mean, yes. Now, we have a top secret mission for you, Sal. Can you make sure you take these lovely little companions of yours to the swamp on your way north?
I know, Mark.
Do you think you can do that?
Yeah, absolutely. What's in the swamp?
Oh, nothing to worry about, nothing. But there is one other thing. We
Yeah,
need to make a quick stop off at the Eastern Air Temple.
that's where we wanted to go.
Oh, great. Well, I'll take you there. I'll head into the archives and read a book while you do what you wanted to do.
What kind of book are you gonna read?
One about bison.
Oh, that's not very interesting. We'll go do our own thing then.
I'll be looking for names of bison.
You should just name them all after fruit and different kinds of tarts.
After I have consulted the scroll of names, I will do that.
Sounds good. Are we gonna meet up again before we meet in the swamp?
No.
Oh, okay.
Sorry. I find that leaving like an extra pause it's quite fun actually, because I'm imagining it as like every amateur play ever. Like occasionally people forget their lines, and so rather than saying the line they were given, just go, no, and move away again.
You obviously never learnt yes and. You're not meant to say no. God.
No. This isn't improvisation. This is amateur theater. Like they're so nervous that they're just like, no, nothing, and then walk away. As the rest of the characters are brought to a back main central stage again on the bison's back, Pius looks over all of you.
Well, have you had a fun journey? I hope you've learned lots of interesting things.
Yes, I made this puppet of you. Isn't it cool?
That's creepy.
I hate it.
I learned how to make really cool water clouds.
I didn't really learn
What?
much from an airbender. There's not really much to learn. Isn't that right, Mako?
Yes.
Shurva, can you make sure your whip isn't dangling over the edge of the bison? It might get caught in some of those trees 6 kilometers below us.
What do you... Ah!
Shurva in the audience is like, it's not that fucking long.
The lady behind you, as her daughter goes, long whip. And then you hear this
Coming back up.
as the whip that she's holding unravels and drops onto the floor behind you. Part of it like draping over your shoulder, Shurva, before it slowly gets wheeled back in like a fishing rod.
Just in
Like
the
it's
crowd.
wandering
just
sound.
like-
I love the idea of like this long whip, and then you feel this as this thing goes all the way down your front, and then as you look down, you watch this length of like twine slowly get retracted back up the length of your body. Oh man, I'm having fun.
Great.
As Shurva sort of like goes over the side, Pius quickly uses some airbending. Again, 2 dudes this time in a white morph suit with like bits of cotton wool stuck to them to make them look like clouds rush onto the stage and like help reel in the rope and throw it back onto the bison.
Well, was there anything else anyone learnt? Rock, you've been quiet.
I didn't learn anything. There wasn't any earth in the north.
I hear you have a very special badge, Rock.
Yes, it's the badge of authority that I wear. I'm a manager at a coal mine.
I'm gonna update that just for the purposes of fun. If you wanted to spend an inspiration point on this, Dave, you're more than welcome to. But as you hold up the badge, it's literally like written in crayon, and it just has "I'm a special boy" on it.
Done. Can I have
Nice.
can I have it in a crayon that changes color? You know those crayons
Oh,
that like, different colours as
yeah.
you ride along with it?
Yes,
That's
yes.
even one crayon.
And it's around a
My
smiley
mom
face.
gave it to me. I'm a special boy.
It's like
That's
the
very
owl, like,
impressive.
Wrong's the
Very,
owl in the crowd,
very
just like
impressive.
looking at his badge. He's like, looks nothing like that, does it? Oh, like, seriously, right?
It kind of looks similar. Rock puts his head forward for a pat on the head.
Pius goes pat pat and says pat pat at the same time.
Yep. I'll skip. Rock skips off onto the rest of the bison.
Skips off onto the rest of the bison.
He just skips away.
Speaking rock.
For the purpose of this, the bison's like 6 times too big, so that they could all have them on the set at the same time. So yeah, you just skip across the stage
Skips
on the
away.
back of this bison.
So there's like 4 of us on this bison right now?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, okay, cool.
You watch as behind, in front of the paintings, cardboard cutouts of the top of temples begin to rise up from the floor. Ah, we're descending towards the air temple. Oh wait, this is the northern air temple. Never mind. And you watch as the spires then drop down again. We need to go to the eastern air temple. Just starts whistling on the back of the bison, and then all of a sudden spires come up again. Ah, there's the northern air temple. Sorry, eastern air temple. As the actor looks down at the hand and goes, Eastern air temple. As the spires rise up, the cardboard cutout of the bison like lands heavily, and then a whole bunch of the black morph suited stagehands rush on and remove the bison, allowing all of your characters to step back down again. A woman with a very obvious bald cap that has bits of her hair peeking out, and a bit of a hole at the back where one of her tightly dark curls, one of her tight black curls, is pushed through the bald cap. Steps forward. The tattoo on her head is again at a little bit of an angle because she hasn't got the ball cap on quite right. Looks like she's had to do a pretty quick costume change in between. And as she walks on, the hem of her robe gets stuck on one of the upturned nails, and you hear this ripping noise. As you look over, part of her robes tear off and leave behind this like fragment of orange fabric on the stage. She looks back, looks up eyes wide, and then goes,
Welcome to the Eastern Air Temple.
Hi, Mum. I mean, Sister Taki.
Ah, yes, my favorite student, Sal. Have you been studying?
No.
Ah, figures. You always were my best but laziest student.
I'm not lazy. I've been going everywhere. I've done so much.
Pray tell me, what have you done?
I can't tell you. It's a secret.
I can do it in a puppet show.
No, that's creepy.
I love that the idea that there's this pause. No thanks, that won't be necessary.
Brother Pius?
Nods.
Yes, Sister Taki. Hello. I have need of a visit to the archives. Could you point me to them, please? Oh, yes. Just down that way. And you'll be able to speak with Mr. Library about any options or things that you might need to access. Ah, good. Yes, Mr. Library, yes. What's he wearing today? Does he look like he's got clothes that are aerodynamic, or could we... I'm sorry? Nothing. And his wrists, they're easy to wrap up in rope today, correct? I'm sorry, what? Nothing. Well, I better be off to the archive to look through that list of names. Ta-ta!
As then Pius walks off stage left.
3 days ago.
Yeah, how do
Yeah.
we know all
Yeah.
this?
How do they know this?
Don't worry, the big reveal's coming. As Sister Taki looks, she goes,
Well, I'd love to welcome you here under peaceful times, but unfortunately...
and then you hear this of thunder, and a very dark cloud slowly lowers from the ceiling with an angry face in it, a person who's hiding inside the cloud going, just with their mouth downturned, looking out at the audience going, meh.
Unfortunately, we have some inclement weather. She looks up, and then you watch the actor struggling to keep a straight face as the nurse goes, meh, looking out from inside the cloud. I sometimes think there's a force behind this weather, an intelligence, meh, an intelligence driving it, some sort of spirit, as she tries to talk over the top of the person who's having their 5 minutes of fame, really enjoying it.
It's like the kid in the school play that plays the rock tree.
Yes.
Skeletor, that's all I can hear.
I know, those clouds look really angry.
From above. No, actually, even better. I am. From above.
Blow up, will you?
Die!
He says die, and he watches you with a hand comes from behind and drops a lightning bolt, a cardboard cutout onto the stage, and Air Nomad walks
flash.
underneath. Yeah, the lights flash, and Air Nomad walks underneath and then catches the lightning bolt and goes, ah! Holds it against his chest and drops to the ground, sort of twitches a bit. Oh no, another one lost.
I know, what can we do?
Well, if only you had a healer to help save this poor airbender. Oki looks around and goes, oh, I can heal. Rushes over and Heaney goes, I can heal too. And they both go over and start throwing blue glitter at the air nomad on the ground. While they're doing that, Sister Taki turns towards you. Yes, Dave.
I thought you were gonna say if only someone could heal, and the two of them are just going on their own kayak and leaving.
Yeah,
I'm
they
gonna
left.
retcon. That's hilarious.
That is what I was gonna say. I was like, but where did they go?
Do you know what? That's too funny. Yes, I will retcon. If only there was someone who could heal. And then they look over stage left and you watch as the two actors playing Oki and Ahini just slowly start backing away, pull out a cardboard cutout of a kayak and go, bye guys.
Bye.
We're going south.
We're off on a honeymoon. Bye. Start paddling the
that's
kayak
the
on
only thing they were good
stage.
for.
That's when they would be useful.
Yeah.
Wow, that's dark.
What a truck, right?
Oh no, another one lost. Well, hopefully you can help
do,
us in our battle against this angry storm. Yeah, I'm so angry. From above.
Well, what could we do? I know. I could fly up there on my kite and see if I can make it happy again.
Be careful, Saul.
Positive affirmations.
One of the black morph suited individuals rushes out, clips something onto your belt, and then as you hold up your hand, you unstring your actual kite and then fly up into the air. Get pulled up by the rope. The cloud
But
goes.
it's not
"No,
like a
don't
glider,
come any
it's just
closer."
a kite.
It's just a kite, yeah, exactly. The cloud's like, no,
me-
don't
me-
come any closer. And starts throwing thunderbolts at you.
Meanwhile, Rock punches the ground, being like, "Darn, I'm not useless. I'm not helpful again. If only there was Earth nearby."
It's okay. I'm useless as well.
As you say
Rock,
that,
maybe Rocket's sad because it has no Earth. Maybe you need to introduce it to some Earth. And I point towards a boulder and look up at the sky.
I don't think Shurva would say that.
This isn't Shurva, though. This is an actor
Don't
playing
worry.
Shurva.
Don't worry, guys. I'll make a puppet show for it.
No, that's creepy. And the audience joins in this time. It was like, no, puppets are creepy. Everyone says it at the same time.
Killer slumps down in his
Someone's out
seat a little bit more.
You hear from
this is
behind you,
gonna
little
carry
girl.
on.
You hear from behind you a
It's
young
like creepy.
child, probably the younger brother of the girl with the costume of Shurva and the very long whip. This kid's probably like one who goes, "Puppet's creepy," from behind
Yeah.
you.
I like a killer will just like slump down more and sort of like hide himself a little bit more.
Brilliant. Sister Taki, I guess is what we're calling her. That was some good improvisation.
Thank you.
Nods and goes, "If only there was someone who could protect us from the lightning, then we could get close, or could do some sort of special weather bending."
I can do that. Weather bending, I mean. I don't think I could protect us.
Is there anyone strong enough, brave enough, instilled with Fire Nation values, able to lightning bend?
My dad said I could
Push
try.
Mako.
Yeah, Shurva pushes Mako forwards. Nice.
I could try.
Oh, quick, stand under the cloud and give it a go.
Oh shit.
That's breaking character.
That's what I did, I think.
Nah, but there are children in the audience.
Oh.
Young children.
Fizzy pop.
Perfect, thank you. As you go stand underneath the angry cloud looks down and goes, "Ah, a firebender. I hate you too!" Throws down a little lightning bolt. As you catch it, Mako, for a second you sort of hold it in place, shuddering and moving around, and then you throw it back towards the cloud up in the air. Now my question is, if anyone wanted to spend one of their theatre inspiration points to sabotage this somehow, they're more than welcome to. Or if anyone wanted to spend an inspiration point to try and help this along, make it less awkward for Mako, you can also try and do that.
No one's gonna
Mostly
help.
Dave at this point, who is sabotaging everyone else with his...
No, that's all right. I only sabotaged Andrew, not actual Marco.
Oh, fair. As the cardboard cutout of the lightning bolt goes up, it strikes the face pretty accurately, and he goes, "Oh shit!" As the face pulls back into the cloud, pulling the lightning bolt with it. He just from like up in the cloud. Sister Tucky sort of goes wide-eyed and goes, "Ah, I think you've stunned it momentarily. We best get ready to take it on for real. There's a spirit in there, or so I'm told." With that, one of the cutouts of the bison is brought back on stage, and as you all climb on board, Sister Taki goes, "Sal, how will you defend us from the strong winds?" And with that, you hear this as people with fans start like blowing rapidly, trying to create some like wind across the stage.
I'll blow back at it.
You always were the best at blowing.
And I can't make the jokes. Come on.
I didn't say you couldn't.
I'll winks at the rest of the party.
God damn it.
Gross. As you Bree, what does Sal do for this? How does Sal?
So I would pull out the kite.
Yeah.
I was gonna say fan then, but we aren't there yet. Pull out the kite and
Don't
just
worry about
kind
continuity. Feel free to break it.
and kind of just like hold the kite above myself and go like this and go.
Nice. As you do so, a whole bunch of the morph-suited individuals dressed as clouds begin rushing the other way into the wind with their arms up, waving them around like the inflatable... What are those inflatable things they have out the front of stores to grab
Wacky
people's
waving
attention?
inflatable
the
tube man.
inflatable man.
Thank you.
Yeah. Wacky Man played advertising droid.
Yeah, a whole bunch of the stage
Sorry,
hands
wacky
dressed-
inflated inflatable arm tube boy. I don't know. It's
Yeah,
got
whatever.
flailing somewhere in there, and I always screw it up.
I love it. They rush on, sort of doing that to try and like simulate the strong winds pressing back. The dark storm clouds all lower around you, no longer with faces. That one has been pulled back up in, and a cardboard cutout of a very large demonic-looking bison with like bright red eyes, like big horns. Like we're talking like massive bull horns, but no teeth. It is toothless. Painted onto a cardboard cutout lowers from the clouds once again around you. "Oh no, we're in danger," Taki says as she looks around at the storm clouds surrounding the bison.
Danger.
She's sure. What do you guys do?
Killer, don't you remember when you calmed the spirit thing? Can't you do that again?
You're right. Let me make a puppet of it real quick so I can do it. And
I don't
pull
think
out
we have time for a creepy puppet. I think you're
Fine.
going to have to do something else.
What if I play some
Fine.
amazing Fire Nation music and then pull out like a
bowl.
salad bowl, and I just like rub my finger around it, like, just with my mouth.
Randy, you have to do that the whole time that this is happening on stage.
Yes. Salad bowl finger.
No, I need you to make the noise as Brandon.
Like, do you want to make the...
Yeah. The whole time. Perfect, thank you.
Sorry.
That didn't last long. Andrew, what does Killer do?
He's gonna start. Oh, I really wish Oki was here. It's the only other thing she was good at. Anyway, then I'm gonna start just waving my hands, and I guess do the spirit bending.
Yeah, some gold fabric begins to lower from the ceiling. The cutout of the bison turns away, and you hear a voice speaking through probably some sort of like megaphone above. I care not for your foolish bending, but that gentle dulcet tone. I love it. Oh, so nice, so soothing. Play me some more. I feel suitably calmed by the gentle lull of your hymn. And the bison slowly rises back up and the clouds go off stage. A second later, the bison lowers once more and goes, I give you a kiss of fresh air. Makes little kissing noises towards Shurva and Mako, and then rises back up again.
Hold back.
Taka looks around and goes,
I'll kiss it back.
well, that went really well. Not your bit, Killer. You were useless. But Shurva and Mako, you're heroes.
We did it!
All in a day's
Just another
work.
day.
Oh,
Yay,
we left
the
rock
airbenders.
down below us. The bison lowers rock still on the ground.
The Air Nation saved us all.
Does
The
Rock
Fire
say that?
Nation saved us all.
Yeah, do you have Rock say the Air Nation saved us all?
Wasn't that Mark?
Remember, we're pandering to the Fire Nation narrative.
Yeah.
I am going to subtract one of your theatre inspirations, Dave, because that is absolutely counter to what the Fire Nation are trying to do here, specifically trying to position the Air Nomads and the Earth Kingdom as stupid and foolish.
No,
A,
but
because they're...
he said the
I'll-
Fire Nation saved us, though.
You said the Air Nation.
No, I said
think-
fire. I definitely said fire.
I
Let's-
don't know.
no,
I
you
said, I said
definitely...
it was Marco and Shurva.
You 100% said Air Nation saved us. You
Chat-
might have
chat-
thought...
Did I say Air Nation or Fire Nation?
You
Chat?
literally said air.
You
said
said it.
I don't know what to tell you, mate.
I said
You all
fire.
heard
It
it.
was
You
Shurva.
probably
I like how
Energy.
you're
There's
gonna
a
trust.
stroke.
I like how
I
you're gonna
like how you're
trust
trying to
internet
gaslight us
strangers.
out of character.
I know. You said
Oh my
air.
god. Hey, so one for fire, one for air.
I said
Uh,
Fire Nation straight after you said air because I was correct.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Someone
think
clip
it's-
that.
We need the KFC
Water.
bucket recipe right now.
Sal is going to turn to the audience and be like, wow, if it wasn't for these two really brave Fire Nation people, we wouldn't have survived that because I was kind of useless.
And maybe we don't deserve to, says Sister Tucker. Tucky.
Taki.
That's okay. Fire Nation will be always here to protect all the nations. You can count on us. Isn't that
We're
right,
here to
Marco?
look after you all.
That's actually what I said in the first session.
There's suddenly, as the bison cutout lands on the ground, and you all jump off and begin moving back around. Another air nomad runs onto the stage. This one, a man with a bald cap.
Mr. Book.
Holds up his hand to like wait. Mr. Library's been kidnapped.
No! He was my favorite air nomad.
Something about names in the library.
He forgot his name in the library?
Something like that. But worse. If only the Fire Nation had been here, they guard their citizens far more carefully.
Oh, it's a shame we had to help protect through the we had to stop the spirit.
There's just like this moment of silence, and Sister Tucky goes, yes! Better go and save Mr. Library now, right, guys?
I suppose we'll save
Off we
Mr.
go.
Book.
Off we go.
We should go to the
Um,
swamp.
Mr. Book.
As you look in the background, you see Brother Pius with a large sack over his shoulder that's occasionally like moving around, and you hear from inside of it. Pius sort of walks up, dumps the sack, gives it a kick, and then wanders over. Well, sounds like there's some shit going down. I best be off. See you later, kids. And he walks back over, picks
He's
up the
allowed to
sack.
swear and I'm not. What
No,
is this?
fair. Looks like some stuff's going down. Well, I better be off. See you later, kiddos. And then he walks back over, picks up the sack, and drags it off stage as you see the sack moving around violently.
Bye.
Strange.
Alrighty.
Weird. But let's go find Mr. Library, the coolest airbender.
I think you should
They
check.
can be.
Oh no, sorry, you go.
Who said the coolest airbender? I'm like, well, if they can be.
Fucking hell. Well, I think you should probably check somewhere that's safe. Somewhere where he might be hiding out. Maybe Chin Village.
That sounds like a great idea.
Yes, a harmless village along the coast, full of friendly faces. They might be able to help you.
Can we take Peaches over there?
Sure, I guess so. Brother Pius just walked off without his bison.
Cool, 3 bison. All right.
As you climb back onto the bison and it takes off, the cloud painting again begins shifting behind you before changing to a village by a cliff top. You can see many people rush onto stage, loads of extras, along with some beautiful effigies created of the various avatars. Roku, what's the waterbender avatar's name? I can never remember. Kurok, I think?
Mm-hmm.
Her name was Korra, Owen.
What was that, sorry?
Korra.
No, not Korra. The one from the past. You son of a bitch. Kurok.
I know what you
Kurok.
meant.
I was so close. Kurok. Thank you, chat. Kurok. I was very close. As Kurok, and then there's also one of obviously Avatar, Kyoshi. And as you land down outside the village and move in, a figure sort of rushes up to greet you, dressed in long robes and a large, tall, conical hat. Welcome to Chin Village for our Avatar Day festival. Please have some free food and free drinks. Anything you want is yours today in Chin Village. Do you want a free hug?
Anything?
Anything.
Anything.
Anything?
Can I get some blood?
What?
No.
Why would you want blood?
And slaps him.
Secrets.
Down, Aquila. Down.
Can't.
No.
Killer? No.
Wait.
We have a special competition. Eating competition. Would you like to enter?
I love to eat.
Was it Mako who entered? I think it was,
Yeah.
wasn't it?
Yeah.
It was.
As you get
So
up
was
onto the
Fine
stage, they have 3 other participants in the eating competition. The bowl of food in front of you is just full of fake food, and as the eating competition starts, the rest of the actors just dump it down their fronts, going nom nom nom, and then just throw the food down their fronts, making a huge mess. As you do so, the commentator to the side goes, "And they're off, ladies and gentlemen, getting into the eating competition, looking very, very strong. We've got some strong contenders here today. The Fire Nation is falling further and further behind. It's going to take a real miracle for this newcomer to take the crown." And with that, I jump over to Andrew as Aquila. As it looks like Mako begins struggling to keep up with the other eating with the other competitors.
I'm trying to actually remember what happened.
What do you mean what
I think
happened?
you know what fucking happened, mate.
You know what happened.
No, that happened afterwards.
Oh, yeah.
No, in the actual eating competition, Mako just did it
I just did it.
because
Yeah,
it was
but
really
these guys,
spicy food and no
but
one else could.
these guys have assumed that if you have a bloodbender who bloodbends people for any fucking reason that he wants, probably he did it to help Mako win.
Okay, I'm gonna
Probably.
blood. Okay, then I'll do. Then
Killer!
I'll get like I'll get
and
out like a
help
little
him.
puppet, and I'll do like a little puppet thing of one of the dudes, and so that this one of the food goes in his eyes, because I know that happened.
And then he falls backwards off his seat. And just you hear this screaming as he falls backwards, and then you hear a "ow shit"
Yeah.
as he falls back too hard and hits his head. And the actor sort of sits up, looks around, and goes, "Ah!" and then falls over again, trying to milk his death scene. And it looks like one of the Earthbenders is out of the ring, which means only Mako is here to win. Mako's the winner! As he calls out,
I did it! I did it!
The crowd, the audience cheer along with you, getting very excited and very into the...
Yay, Fire Nation!
Oh my god. Can we have a vote for Owen to the start of the session recaps in the same style as Korra? Oh, is that... It is, it's the announcer, isn't it? Last session on Avatar Legends! I can do that. Just sounds like that would get very annoying very quickly. Maybe once. Maybe when we do a Korra era one, I'll do it. Because that would be kind of fun. As the set begins moving once again, it now takes over towards the cliff tops showing the temple.
Well, here we have our very special monument to Avatar Kyoshi and her friend, Chin, the lovable.
What's our opinions on...
What was that, sorry?
What's our opinion
Chin.
on... Like, what's Fire Nation's opinion on Chin?
That's a very good question. I'm going to say... Oh, yeah, go ahead.
Also, remember before this is like, because this is like, I think it was before we went to the play, before we went down under, we talked to them about Chin Village? Did we?
Yes, yeah.
And we were like, we tried to stop the bad stuff from happening.
Yeah, but I don't remember what they said in...
Like, us and the
retaliation.
Daily were here to help everyone.
Yeah. But were they cool with...
So
What we
here, like, that's a good question. I don't think Aquila would know what the Fire Nation's opinions of Chin Village are, but Mako and Shurva probably would, from the audience. Mako and Shurva, you would know that Avatar Kyoshi was not a super popular avatar in the Fire Nation during her reign. She was very much focused on the Earth Kingdom as a whole, and the Fire Nation royal family really were kind of a bit independent from her during a fair portion of her tenure as the Avatar. Probably the Fire Nation are pretty happy for the chaos that Chin Village creates politically by being completely opposed to Avatar Kyoshi.
Well, realistically, the very next Avatar they knew was going to be Fire Nation, so they would
Exactly.
have been just waiting for her to
yes.
die and
Just
kind of
like-
hoping it would happen sooner rather than
And
later.
Kyoshi, as a real middle finger, lived longer than almost any other Avatar, I think,
Yeah.
from memory.
So like they're all like hoping and praying the bitch is going to die soon, and then she just didn't.
Any day now.
Any day now.
We can now, Avatar.
Yeah.
We must have the power.
She's got the flu, guys.
Yeah, quick, it doesn't it?
Placing
So-
bets on when she's gonna die.
Yeah, so that is an interesting question. I would say that in terms of like the general Fire Nation citizen, they don't know what the fuck Chin Village is. If you go like, what do you think of Chin Village? They go, what's a Chin Village? And how do you have a village on your chin? They would
Yeah.
genuinely not know what you mean by
Is
that.
that like
For
a
the-
different kind of butt chin? Like,
It's like lice.
It's like lice. Sure. But for the Fire Nation,
wait, Brandon, do you have a chin village
No, he
in
washes.
your beard?
I have like a little dimple there, so I grew it
No,
out.
I was more meaning, do you have things living in your beard?
yeah.
Lice.
Do you have lice,
Itchy
Brandon? Is
some
what
days.
we're asking.
I have a few little lice in there. You know, they wash me out.
It's a snack when I get hungry.
Yeah, look.
Not quite
It's like,
village.
Yes, I would say that the Fire Nation, on the whole, as a political entity, probably aren't too upset with the Chin Village situation. They're not a fan of them burning effigies of Avatar Roku. The Fire Nation were very happy with Avatar Roku. Yeah, very, very, very on board with Avatar Roku. So probably that's not so great for them. But Avatar Kyoshi, nah, he gives a shit.
Okay, so at the
And-
moment, it's just Kyoshi figure up there, right?
There's a Kyoshi figure, a Roku figure, and a Kuruk figure.
Oh, I didn't. Okay. I
Yeah,
didn't
from
realize that.
memory, the only reason why Mako and I were so opposed to Chin Village was not because they were hating Kyoshi. It was more
No.
the fact that they hated the Avatar as a whole and that they were
Yeah.
burning our
Our avatar.
They started
Avatar.
with burning the effigy of Roku. It was Roku, then Kuruk, then Kyoshi in that
Yeah.
order.
Yeah, so for us, it was like, whoa, this isn't
Whoa.
okay. We had just lost our greatest Avatar ever because he was ours.
Yeah. As that's happening, you watch as a group of clearly like actors dressed as bandits, like very obvious, like bandit regalia. Some of them even have like eye patches and fake scars drawn on their bodies and faces. They creep on, pull out a torch, and then go, "Down with Roku!" and then set fire to the Roku effigy. The counselor goes, "Oh no, we were only going to burn the Kyoshi one. Save us, quickly, save our favorite avatar." As he looks towards the burning effigy of Roku. What do you guys all do?
I'll save us, and I'll try and like contain the fire while I say, "Killer, quick! Stop the fire from spreading."
There's no water.
Literally on the edge of a cliff with the ocean below you. So there's no water. As you say that, the fire rapidly begins spreading as the bandits continue sort of like walking around setting fire to other little like
But
torches
don't
that
worry,
are made to look
I'll
like buildings.
use the bandit's blood.
You watch as the bandits all go, "Ah!" and then throw out red streamers up into the air that some black morph-suited individuals use to smother some of the fires as it then like rains down red-stained rice from above.
What could go wrong?
The counselor turns towards you as the fire slowly gets put out. "I'm traumatized for life. Never come back here."
What are you looking up?
Good explanation.
What are you
for
looking
why we
up?
aren't
Yep,
allowed there.
I'll take it. What are you
Just
looking
leave
up?
that at that.
As you climb back onto the bison and take off, you watch as one of the packs of firewood on Peach's back comes loose and falls, reigniting the fire once again. And as the fire spreads rapidly, the counselor calls up, "Curse you!" and then drops into a section of fake fire with red ribbons and flings them up around him, dancing around in them for a moment before disappearing behind the stage. As you guys begin heading south once more, an island appears before you with a whole bunch of women dressed in armor and weapons. As you land, they go, "Stop, strangers! You stand on the shores of Kyoshi Island."
Please tell me it's like armor, like typical of any video game that you play, where it's like
Super skimpy.
Yeah.
Sure. Alright, let's go for it. Why not, hey?
I feel like that would be the general opinion of.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. "Stop, strangers. Stop and come no further." As they look at you. Is that what you're looking for? Is that what you wanted?
I feel so
I
uncomfortable.
know, but that's what I want.
You can't bait the hook, throw it out, and then be upset when you reel in something.
Can we clip that? Can we
Yeah,
actually just clip that?
You're
now?
just boob armor
please
type
don't.
warriors right now. There's no protection there.
Please don't clip that. "Stop, strangers. You stand on the shores of Kyoshi Island. State your business."
We're lost trying to find the swamp.
"Would you like to learn how to be a better warrior?"
No, but I really like those fans. Can I have one?
"Sure, we have plenty." I'll just hand you 2 fans.
You're really pretty.
So these aren't your only ones?
These aren't our only
I'd like to
fans.
learn some new skills.
You're really pretty. I'm gonna make a puppet for you. Damn.
The whole audience. No, puppets are creepy.
Yeah, everyone together.
Yeah.
Striding onto the stage is a man dressed up as a pirate with a sock puppet on his shoulder that looks like some sort of parrot. "Yar, me hearties. I hear you're in need of some booty. I heard that you were... Oh my god, that voice is killing me. I heard that you were down to your OnlyFans and you'll be in need of some booty." Sorry.
This is like 3 nights ago.
They know everything, okay? They know everything.
"Are you in need of some treasure?"
Aquila, that's you.
Oh shit! I forgot that this is what happened.
It's because we weren't.
Yes, I want all the booty.
"Here." Reaches into his pocket,
were.
pulls out a tiny chest and hands it over.
Is there puppets in this?
"No, puppets are creepy." Everyone says it along with him.
Puppets are creepy.
Even I'm joining at this point.
I wanna
like,
know, is
Marco's like,
Yeah?
Marco's
Who,
joining
out
in.
of you guys, who else is joining in with the puppets are creepy? Everyone, except for Aquila. Okay, great. That's all I needed to know. Thank you for the show of hands. That was an exuberant show of hands too.
That was really quick, guys. You got.
The pirate.
It's just a joke, Aquila. It's fine. It's fine.
They're just saying how everyone feels.
Yeah, well, at least I
puppets are
didn't push my
actually
girlfriend off a cliff.
He's down a flight of stairs. I know.
It's a very specific example there, Archie. Should we be concerned?
No.
The pirate nods and goes, "Oh, what is that awful smell coming from yon backpack?" And he points over towards Rock.
Oh,
I don't know. I will have to open up and check. He opens it up. Takes out, it's like rocks.
Yep.
A piece
And
of
then
coal.
emerging from inside the backpack, one of the people in a morph suit runs on and then puts his hand through the underside of the backpack, and a little sock puppet comes out.
You haven't fed me. Ever.
Get back in there.
okay, but again, how
Big
do
lady
they
was
know
spoken to.
this?
Yeah, how do they know this? Chirpy never saw anyone. Chirpy never saw anyone.
Chirpy never
Didn't
saw
even
the
see
light
the-
of day, let alone another person. Sorry.
This is why
Oh,
you have
man.
that rock now.
The pirate looks and goes, "Oh, no, you can't be treating a living creature like that. Let me swap it for a pet rock." Hands you a pet rock.
A rock holds the pet rock in front of him. Sit. This one's obedient.
Oh my god. And the best bit is it
Smarter than
requires
the
no
other
food. What was that, sorry?
It's smarter than the other pet.
The chirpy sock puppet sort of slowly emerges.
I'd like to come out now.
Okay, you go with this fine gentleman with the eye patch and the hook arm.
Arr, you'll fetch a fine you'll be a good pet. As he reaches down and pulls the sock puppet off the hand, he does, and then as the sock puppet pulls off fully, he like tucks it into a pocket and then walks.
I
Finally-
don't ever want to know what happens to this because I am ignorant.
The last words you hear from Chirpy are, "I'm finally
right?
free."
This got dark real quick. The
Master
Kyoshi
took the
Warriors.
sock.
The Kyoshi Warriors come back and hand over some fans and go, "Great, there's our last fans. Now we're down to our only fans." Thanks for stopping by. Bye.
Wait,
They
Here's
wave
the-
at you.
Here's the
warrior
puppet.
tactics,
You have to
Kyoshi.
take it.
No, puppets are creepy.
Puppets are creepy.
The-
Actually, as the rest of the group all sort of move away, leaving just Killer and clearly some sort of interpretation of one of the Kyoshi warriors. I'm trying to remember the name of the one that Coco,
Okay.
the one that Killer took a liking to. She looks down and goes, "Killer, it'll never work out between us. I'm sorry. I'm a brave, noble warrior, and you're some creepy puppet seller."
I don't.
And she
I
like,
don't
turns
remember
away.
this happening.
Will you at least take the puppet?
Yes, only so that I can burn it later.
I'll spend one of my points here just
Yep.
to help my man Aquila right now.
Okay, yep.
He's a creepy puppet man, but maybe he has a chance for ladies.
Okay, I guess I'll take over
Actually,
Aquila
he's
for a
proved
moment.
himself now. He's a
I'll spend my last point to
cancel
take over, to
Oh, you
Coco
motherfucker.
to be no, I'm assisting.
Okay.
Coco has to be nice to Aquila after that. Because in real life, Al had a word with her.
Boo.
That's
All right,
true.
That's true.
I hate you guys.
Killer.
This is our honeymoon present to you, our wedding gift.
Aw, thanks, guys.
Yeah. So Archie, you can play Killer. I'll play Coco. Killer. Coco looks towards you, like takes the puppet and goes, "Oh, this is actually really well made. The craftsmanship is beautiful."
Yeah, I'm really good with my hands. Maybe I could show you later.
Don't you have a very important mission that you're on though?
Fuck, screw it. Stuff the mission.
No, you can't just abandon your mission. What about your honor? And then she turns around and does like a very dramatic pose.
Oh, shit. My honor lies with you, Coco.
I'm gonna retcon that to cuckoo just because. Why
Cuckoo?
not?
Alright, cuckoo.
Yeah,
Like
just
chirpy.
for fun. Yeah.
Cuckoo.
No, you have to fulfill your duty first. But when you're done, you can come back. And maybe I'll go on a date with you.
Yes!
Great. As the rest of the characters come back onto the stage, I hope that was
Al
worth.
stands up and applauds. Yeah! Woo!
The little girl behind goes, Mum, why does that girl want to hang out with the creepy puppet man? And the mother goes, oh, when you're at that age, you make terrible decisions, my love. To the little girl.
I look back.
And that's how
Aquila
she
looks
ended
back.
up with you.
It's the weapon
Aquila?
puts the kid.
Did you say you turn around and look back?
I just snare.
There's a single tear rolling
just
down
what,
his
sorry?
face.
I just like stare.
Sneer.
Sneer.
You
Do
get
you
like,
sneer
It's
and
like a
stare?
puppet.
A
Yeah,
snare.
it's like a mixture.
Yeah,
I sneer at her.
I sneer.
Yeah, Al turns around and is like, shh, he likes puppets. Don't ruin it for him.
Puppets are creepy. The girl calls out from behind.
Man, I wish I could punch a kid.
Someone clip that. And make sure you don't include the context. As the
You want to
bison
talk
cut
about
it.
context?
No, it's fine. You're right. You know what? Forget I said anything. As the bison comes back on the stage, and all of your characters climb on it once again, the Kyoshi warriors fall away, waving goodbye. Bye, good luck, hope you don't die. So you guys take off and fly off.
Goodbye, cuckoo. Oh wait, that's Andrew still.
It's back to Andrew now.
Yeah.
You're playing Aquila once again. Or should I say Killer once again?
Killer.
As the bison heads out over the swamp, you see the painting and shift to show the Banyan Grove swamp. Two waterbenders dressed in nothing but loincloths, with what could only be described as some sort of like face paint. These two long streaks of mud vertically down the side of their each eye as they stride onto the stage. Well, I thought I just saw myself a flying cow high up above. Did you see that, Cletus?
You know, I did see a flying cow, Barth. Think I did. Should we do anything about that?
Nah, I got nothing further to say. And they both then head off the stage.
It's great because that's exactly how they are.
Yep,
Yeah.
that's perfect.
Spot on.
The sky bison.
Yet.
The sky bison slowly lands, and then striding out onto the stage is Pius.
Well, Sal, you came. And you brought your
course.
little friends as well. Good. Now kill them.
Huh? Why?
What?
What?
Kill them.
I'm the only one that's meant to turn on
But
people.
we're vegetarian.
But we thirst for blood.
vegetarian.
We might eat vegetables, but the guiding wind thirst for blood.
You're the
Killer
guiding
likes
wind.
blood.
Did I say guiding wind? Whoopsies.
But aren't you a bad guy?
What is bad?
And he shrugs and looks at the audience.
Just because I'm bad guy doesn't mean I'm bad guy.
Sure, why not?
Do me a second.
I would say a bad guy is someone who thirsts for someone else's blood.
Does that wait?
Killer.
That makes you a vampire.
What's a vampire?
Yes.
Oh, what's that behind you?
And he points behind you. I am going to rule all of you look. Just for the
What?
purposes of this.
Rock keeps spinning in a circle looking around. Yeah.
As you turn back around, there are now 6 airbenders on the stage, or 6 people dressed as airbenders, all getting ready. Striding through the middle of them is a woman dressed in these long, flowing, dark, almost like burnt orange robes.
Well, well, well. It appears the meddlesome children have come to meddle once more. But this is the last time you get between the guiding wind and their goals. We will conquer the Fire Nation, and there will be no one to stop us. We already have their princess on our side. Soon, our air assassins will strike at the Fire Lord himself and kill him.
No,
Dead.
not my dad's boss.
Yes, your dad's boss. Pious turns and
Sorry,
goes,
Marco, there's no way these guys could ever kill your dad. Mm-hmm. Make me a little fist bump.
Oh, you think not? Perhaps I should start by killing you. And then she starts
Won't
like,
do that.
and you watch as a whole bunch of people in the black morph suits begin running out with streamers of fabric, throwing them towards you, trying to like create this air bending effect to try and wrap you up. A cage lowers from the ceiling. Inside of it, you see an incredibly old man, probably looking at it with the long fake beard. This is actually just a kid dressed in an old man's costume with a long fake beard. And then next to him is Sister Taki, because they didn't quite do their research on this bit, going, I'm somehow here now. Save me! Like inside the cage.
They have knowledge of this bit.
My question is, do you guys participate in this bending battle?
Yep. Yes.
Yeah.
As you courageously fight, throwing out streamers of different colors for your bending, Rock, you just reach down and someone from underneath the stage hands you big paper mache rocks to throw at people. Archie, you've got your hand raised.
Just a question.
Hello.
With the fire bending,
Yeah.
is it red?
Yes, it's a red streamer. You literally have in your pocket like 200 lengths of red
Wouldn't
fabric.
it need to
and-
be orange
blood
because the
bending?
blood would be red?
All right, we'll change that. It's orange,
Okay,
and then the
cool.
blood bending's red.
Thank you.
No problem.
I was just
Is that
curious.
Really? Is that really what you want? Really?
Yeah, that's what. Yeah.
Okay.
I was thinking it would be like orange and yellow streamers that he's
Yeah, like
throwing.
sort of like
Sure.
entwined.
Okay. Well, the problem. Yeah. Okay. Sure.
All right,
Why not?
thanks, Dad.
No problem. Why did I answer that? As you.
We're just improving your story.
That's true. As
What
you
we're here for.
participate, that's true. As you participate in the bending battle, this is a time where if you wanted to spend an inspiration point, I should say there are some more inspiration points I didn't hand out in the moment that I am going to hand out now. Absolutely one to Bree, and one to Archie for the puns that have been coming up in the last little bit. I'm almost tempted to give 2 for the OnlyFans. That was pretty fucking good. In fact,
I'll
I will
take
give
it.
2 for the OnlyFans. For ruining the date with Coco with the puppets. Definitely it's going to have to be one to Andrew for Killer. For the continuous long whip gags and commitment to the singing bowl, definitely one to Brandon. And I'm going to give one to Dave as well for the continued sabotaging of the character that you have been shamelessly destroying the public perception of this entire time. So, my question is, if you wanted to spend an inspiration point to make your characters look at least cool in this moment bending, this is the time to do it. Yes, Archie,
And
would you
I
like to?
spend all 3 of my points.
Yes, what would you like to spend them on?
Looking cool.
Looking cool. 3 points is pretty cool, so let's go.
Yeah.
On
On Aquila.
on Aquila,
not
yeah,
on
yeah,
Mako.
yeah. No,
That's
no,
what
not on
it's
Mako.
on.
Yeah, on Aquila.
Fine,
Everyone else
you
spending
wanna
points on there?
I'll spend one on Shurva.
Mm-hmm.
Brandon,
Don't
one on
fuck-
Rung?
Don't fuck me, Dave.
Then I think only
Perfect.
1 point.
In that case, then, this battle...
Salvage something here.
Dave's like, I use all of my remaining ones to cancel yours.
I think
I'll come
Al
after you where you live.
has already looked pretty cool, so I'll spend all my points to help Mako.
To help Mako.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay.
Al
The
already
battle.
seems pretty cool.
Yeah, that's fair.
I've done well.
The battle is intense. At one point, Shurva manages to wrap up 2 of the guiding wind in her insanely long whip, tangle them up while they're trying to airbend before throwing them to the floor. A little bit of bloodbending from Killer causes 2 of the guiding wind to end up attacking each other before sending them both spiraling off the side of the stage. Mako's intense blasts of fire almost managed to knock this depiction of who you can only assume is Lashar out of the sky as she flies around flinging bolts of air at you. But ultimately, it is with the... Yep? Andrew?
Sorry, I'm just curious as what's going to happen to her. Sorry, because I just remembered what happened.
Ah, okay. That's a good question. As you fling firebolts, Mako is able to weaken her. Al and Rung continually keeping her pinned down with well-placed blasts of air, as well as well-thrown rocks. Yes, Dave?
Can I do this? So Rock's throwing the boulders, and he's like,
Yep.
"If you smell what the rock is cooking."
Oh my god. If you smell what the rock is cooking. I love it because it also makes no sense as well. Like, just as a phrase.
But it's
If you smell what the rock is cooking. One of the young... I'm going to say a whole bunch of young earthbenders start calling out, "If you smell what the rock is cooking," like take it up as a chant, and you're going to hear this all around the Earth Kingdom now. It's an actual phrase used by earthbenders.
it's a quote by Dwayne Johnson, just for the record.
I'm pretty sure it's "Can you smell what the rock is cooking," not "If you."
I think it's like
if.
one of those things that everyone thinks it's "Can you," but he actually said "If you." It's just one of those things.
Don't gaslight us here, man. Don't gaslight us.
That's what he's so good at, though.
I'm pretty sure it's Can You Smell What the Rock's Cooking?
Oh, no.
Can you...
It is. If you smell what the rock is cooking, he is correct.
Wait, what?
You're lying! What?
Yeah, it's just like the
Is it
salad
Heath or
one from Simpsons. Like, you don't win friends with salad, not you don't make friends with salad.
Yeah, you don't make
Shit.
friends with salad.
So you don't win
True.
friends with salad.
I don't think so.
Damn.
Yeah.
Oh, it's
What?
like
I've
the
been
you can eat your
living in
cake and
another
have it too.
universe.
It's actually you can have your cake and eat it too. We always say it the wrong way around. That's
Oh,
how they call the
All I
Unabomber.
know is I'll eat the cake.
Yes, Dave.
I think
Do
that
you smell what the rock
this
is
one
cooking?
the one from Jaws as well. Like, you're gonna need a bigger boat. It's actually
Yeah.
like it's actually slightly different from that.
I think you're right. That's
Anyway,
funny.
Yeah.
Either we're all living in an alternate dimension and we've somehow slipped through, or human memory's fallible. I don't know which one it is. Hard to
I
say.
think it's actually both.
I think that's a what's
That's
it
not
called?
derail.
Derail.
Shut your
I
mouth.
think that's a derail.
Who does the derail get given
Mine was a
to?
quote that Rock was saying.
Yeah, I wonder if it's a Dave derail. This
I
might
think
be
it's a Dave derail because then Dave pointed out that it's actually if you smell what the rock is cooking, and then we went into this tangent.
Yeah, I think this is a Dave rail.
I
Dave
defended the truth, and I have no shame.
Oh,
No one voted for Dave.
Rail any day.
There
No
you go.
one
You can
voted
be
for
a
Dave,
martyr for the
which
truth.
means no one wins.
Suck
Everyone loses.
it. Anyway,
As the battle draws to a close, a blast of blue flame from Mako, this electric blue flame, shoots up and strikes into Lashar. No! And then she plummets out of the sky, dropping down, and you watch as a whole bunch of vines begin to rise up and wrap around her. Again, people in black morph suits holding green lengths of fabric as they wrap around her. No! My plans, my evil... As she's then pulled below what looks like the surface of the water, and you hear no more from her. From inside the cage, the old man goes, "Oh dear, I think you got her. Well done, everyone. Can you let me out now, please? Yay!
Mr. Book.
It's Mr. Library to you, young firebender."
We're
As
so
the
happy we
cage
found you.
is unlocked and he gets down, he looks over. "Well, where are you headed next, young ones?"
Oh, shoot.
I remember where we are.
Well, good luck on your quest to stop the evils of corruption in the Earth Kingdom. And hopefully, under the wise leadership of General Zhao, the Earth Kingdom will be saved. As he struggles to get out his lines.
Is he actually an old man?
No, it looks like a young
it's a
kid
child.
dressed up as an old man. Yeah, it's a
Okay,
child.
cool.
He's really enjoying his first acting moment though.
That's
Kind
good.
of
I'm proud of
for
him.
its worth.
Good, that's good.
Proud of him.
As the
Guys,
curtain
he
falls.
did it. Sorry.
No. You go.
No, that's all I was gonna do. Guys, we did it.
Oh, guys, we do. Okay,
A high five you.
Because we've said yay
High
at the end of
five.
every other little piece, so we all need to go yay.
cool. As the curtain falls and then rises once again, General Zhao strides to the center of the stage. None of your characters visible. He stands up on a small podium and looks across the audience. "Well,
It seems that we have found ourselves at somewhat of an impasse. These brave heroes of the Fire Nation, Mako and Shurva, accompanied by their helpful sidekicks, have been able to appease the spirits, with the Avatar unable to help due to lack of training and assistance by the Air Nation. It seems that we have had to put our faith and hopes on the shoulders of others. But fear not, while these children help keep the balance with the spirit world, I will help maintain order and peace throughout the nations. In the coming days and weeks, you will see more members of our peacekeeping corps, our expeditionary force, coming to nearby towns and cities to help and provide protection from the bandits and the corruption that exists inside the very heart of Ba Sing Se. Remember, the Fire Nation are your friends. The Dai Li are here for your protection. And until the Air Nation can be bothered to train up the new Avatar, we shall keep the world safe. And he bows very deeply to thunderous applause from the audience. Now this story is still changing and evolving. When we hear news from these brave, brave children, we will bring it to you in the form of theater for you to enjoy. But now, thank you, you lovely audience members, for joining us for this journey. And we hope to see you for part 2 of our epic story. If you have any more leads on information, please come and meet us at the tent afterwards. We are constantly gathering information and leads from various sources around the different nations and are very keen to learn more as it comes in. Monetary rewards provided. Please enjoy yourselves off into the night. Thank you all! As he begins clapping and everyone joins in and applauds. As they do so, Calzo looks towards you guys and goes, did they just say they pay money to learn things about you? I'm pretty sure they were offering money.
Nope.
We could make a quick buck.
That's not worth it. We just seen that it's not worth it. Still got glitter that's following me from the stage.
I'll be right back, guys.
So do you guys really think that Coco wants me to go back?
I'm more concerned about how they even knew about Coco.
I'll be right back. I'm gonna go talk to them real quick.
No, you're not.
I'll be right back.
No, you're not.
Sounds like Marco's off making his way out of the tent.
Yep, Big Shurva, get your whip. Do that thing you did on play.
Yes, let's stop here with that really long whip.
Chat thinks Marco's going to get him. Marco's not going to get him. Marco's going to go and give him more information like the little rat he is.
But this time, have you sold the information for money before, or have you just told them stories?
He got it. They got it for free last time.
Well, we got it in for tickets.
True.
Hey,
We got
at
it for
least
tickets.
they didn't call us up to the front. I was really worried at the end there that they wouldn't call us up to the front.
I was hoping they would.
Who snitched?
Who would have snitched in some
Yeah,
of
I don't-
those situations though? Like,
It's
Kyoshi
Mazon's
Island.
the only one that could have been there.
It couldn't have
That's
been
actually
Coco.
here.
yeah, so Kyoshi Island, the swamp, maybe Mazon,
That's the only one.
Mazan wouldn't even know
But-
half the stuff that happened.
the airbending temple,
Chin Island.
waterbending
Because-
temple. Who the heck?
Only because it's funny. I am happy to end the session there and give a little bit of behind the scenes. Would you like to know who has ratted you out
Yes.
during this campaign?
Chirpy.
Absolutely.
Chirpy did it.
Chirpy
Secret
has
animal.
been a sleeper agent this whole time. No, so
That's
on
why I
Kyoshi
didn't do
Island, it was the pirates.
Yeah.
They were there for part of it. They asked some questions, and then after you guys left, they found out the rest of the story, parts of the story from the Kyoshi Warriors. We're more than happy to sell the story to the Ember Island players. Chin Village, That was sent out in various missives to look out for the people responsible for burning
anyone.
down.
That one, yeah, that one makes sense.
that one, that's not the one we're concerned about.
I'll let you know.
Air
Chin
Temple?
Village. Chin Village was Chin Village. Air Temple. I can't say yet because that is a little bit of a spoiler.
It's higher.
I also can't tell you too much about the swamp, but I will let you know that it was someone who was there for part of it.
Yeah.
Who?
Our friend.
Were there any other
Okay,
ones you
what
wanted
about
to know about?
Northern Water Tribe. Who out of the Northern
Oh,
Water Tribe would have said
More than happy to share who ratted you out from the Northern Water Tribe. The Ember Island Players, when they were doing their performance, they've actually just come from there, and so when they went and did it, Oki's sister, along with the chief and the old sage, were more than happy to share and correct them because they were like, "Oh, this is wrong. You need to fix this. Aquila wasn't like that." And the old sage in particular was the one who corrected it all.
But how did they know about like?
The fox.
Because you told the old sage everything you did.
We're not
literally,
telling
like-
anyone anything anymore.
My thing is, I don't know how they found out about Shurva. Because we
About
haven't told
Shurva in
anyone
what
about
way?
Shurva.
In what way?
How
Shiva's
she got
been there.
blessed.
Yeah.
How Shurva got blessed by the Sky Bison.
Yeah.
Oh,
No
that
one
was just
saw that.
coincidence. They just wanted to show that the Fire Nation was special and that they were loved.
Okay.
That was just
Yeah.
coincidence. They got that right.
That's okay then.
What is
Because
it?
they don't actually know.
Is that they know the name of Brother Pion? as
Pious, they
Brother
called him.
Pious.
Yeah, no,
exactly.
yeah, it's Pion. Pion's the snitch. We got to break some ankles.
I think Pion works at the Fire Nation. I guess that explains why he kind of knew what happened to the Eastern Air Temple.
Yeah.
I can't tell you too much
He
about.
remember, he kidnapped Mr. Library from there.
Hmm.
But also, I will quickly add, just as an aside,
Oh, wait,
why
yeah.
would Pion share the shit things he's done to a group of strangers only for it to then be a major part of the play to reveal the shit things he's done? Yes, let's go Archie first because his hand was up first.
Money.
Yes, Andrew.
He doesn't believe in the guiding wind that he's working under at the moment.
That's true. Good question.
Also, how'd they know it was the names that they were after? Not even the Air Nation knew that.
How did they know that?
Yeah, this is
Like,
Mr.
only I
Library?
put that, like I put that together, but then the Air Nation.
It couldn't have been Mr. Library.
No. He.
It's
just-
probably Mr. Library.
Who else would have known that we keep calling him Mr. Library?
Pion.
That can't be a coincidence.
No, but they went the other way, didn't they?
Maybe Mr. Library was sick of being called Mr. Library. Decided to do something about it.
Nah, Mr. Library's a little bitch. He wouldn't do that.
Sister
Mazon's-
Taka wouldn't do this.
Mazon could have done it to
No,
get
but they
money.
knew who Sister Taka was, but they didn't know about the other Air Nation temple that we went to, the northern one.
Every time Dave ducks down, his camera,
The camera just
goes
has a
nuts.
Yep.
Um,
Looking at my notes.
We're trying to figure out
It
who
could
the
have
common
been-
links are.
Who fucked us over?
It could have been
This,
Mazon.
this is what my notes look like.
I don't really think it
'Cause
would have been Mazon.
He
though.
wanted money to get across, right?
Yeah. But
Anyway,
no,
we're-
he said he had way.
Yeah. Anyway, we're gonna break.
We'll
Pion.
find out eventually just by playing the
knees.
campaign.
And we're gonna.
We're gonna drive ourselves insane with what ifs instead.
So we are gonna do a second Ember Island Players session once the campaign finishes to cover the second half of the spirit thing. So everything
And it's
from
just us
Omashu.
talking about the Ember Island players. That's
Yeah.
all the next part is.
That's
like,
that's assuming that the world isn't destroyed.
oh yeah.
Well,
We've
we
got
know the
pro-
world isn't destroyed because Avatar the Last Airbender happens. So
Well, I set back time. Anything's possible.
Yeah.
So
This-
thank you
this-
so much for joining us, everybody. I hope you've enjoyed the Ember Island Players. It has been a lot of fun.
We don't talk to anyone ever again.
Yep.
There is indeed a level up for all of you. Please feel free
Hey,
to
it
level up
worked.
as a result of this.
I told you,
Uh,
Andrew.
Yeah, it worked.
This plus obviously tackling the Badger Mole spirit. Those two together are definitely worthy of a look.
Anything
was more
anything
XP
else
though.
that happens because of the Badger Mole?
Yeah, but I'm gonna get to that when it happens next. I don't want to reveal that too soon as a spoiler. It's gonna be cool to let it happen.
But
again.
I heard a yes.
Yeah, there is something that happens as a result of calming the badger. Aquila, you become
A
a
badger.
mudbender.
Oh, if only I knew what mud.
No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Now could be a mud bloodbender.
A
A mud
blood.
bloodbender.
Yeah. Take that, Hermione Granger.
That's pretty good. Well, thank you so much for joining us, everybody. I hope you've had a fun time. I've had loads of fun with the Ember Island Players. We will be back tomorrow night with our 5th edition homebrew campaign, Return of the Giants, and more Avatar Legends next week. For those of you watching on Twitch, don't go anywhere. We're going to go raid Corsair's Co. For the rest of you who are listening to this recorded, thank you so much. Make sure you hit the like, subscribe, star rating, whatever the equivalent is. We would really appreciate it. Makes our jobs here a lot easier and makes it much easier for me to create quality content, or at least the closest approximation I can get to that. So thank you, everybody. Stay safe, stay well, and we will see you all again really soon. But until then, have a lovely time. Bye, everybody. Bye.
Bye.